And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, James Out West, Thursday, April 15th, a.k.a. used to be tax day,
right.
2021.
No more of these years.
No, so we got another month. Get your taxes done.
Man, I did that.
I still need to do them.
Are you serious?
I usually do them right away, but with them putting that off and me having to get a little bit more forms that I needed since last year, for some reason, it's just me being a little lazy with not reaching out to what I need to do and then just filing them.
Coming up in the world, you got
there's another form needed.
Right, yes. Okay. So interesting week.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of news across the board from NBA, NFL, from the gambling side. But first,
so we got to give a lot of love to DMX. It's crazy. We talked about this 2 weeks ago that we were telling our stories. Then 2 days later, 3 days later, we find out that, he has his health issues or, whatever exactly happened. Then ultimately last week, we were giving him love, saying, hopefully you get better. We know it's not going to look good. And I believe it was the next day we found out he had passed.
Yep, absolutely. 50 years old.
Man, too soon. He lived a good life. Towards the end, it was a little crazy, but he started his own label in the 80s. I think it was 88. He was a figure, and I think it was, if I'm correct, he's the first person on one album to have 5 singles go in the top 10 of the Billboard. When he had that huge album, that. I believe he was the first one, if I am correct. Okay. I could be off on my stats, but that's crazy.
That is crazy.
He made a huge impact.
Sure, absolutely. He changed the rap culture for sure.
He definitely impacted me.
He made me just listen to him all weekend. When I say all weekend, I'm exaggerating. Probably a good 3 or 4 hours, about 3 or 4 hours worth, though, throughout the weekend of DMX. And I haven't listened to rap in like 10 years. So
see, and on one hand, I respect that and I love that. At the other hand, it's like, man, this guy has been kind of hurting and down on his end for a couple of years. And now all of a sudden everybody's listening to him. Like, what? Well,
if everybody was listening to him on, those guys get, scraps of digital downloads. They get scraps. So,
I just, on XM all this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't change the channel.
Without it being DMX.
Half of them are rap for me, but
That's
I got my
hilarious.
oldies, but it's all the rap stations. Yeah. But, hey, much respect. You were a true Rough Rider.
Absolutely.
One love, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get into some football.
Absolutely. I've said that like 5 times, but yes, absolutely. Let's get into some football.
Got a little trigger?
Yeah.
A little tick. So I have to start off by saying, how excited are you about Clowney?
I am. I'm very excited. Now, I will say that I didn't think the signing was going to make or break what I projected them to do this season, and it's too early to start that noise. But
1 year, 10 mil
with where they're at. Well, actually, if you look at that, it's 1 year up to 10 million. He signed a 5-year deal. It's 4 years voidable because they put the signing bonus across the 5 years. So you know what his cap hit is this year? 3.2 million.
Yeah,
we have plenty of money left.
Good signing. No, I'm not against it. It has to be proven. It's exciting, but he's been jumping from team to team on 1 year deals and leaving upset.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's also hasn't been on the other side with Myles Garrett. And you can say, yes, he did have J.J. Watt. But J.J. Watt was so consistently injured when they were playing that he was doubled all the time. So he's got to prove it. I don't think it changes the game or like with what, people as far as Super Bowl predictions or you making it or your playoff predictions, you're still going to be in a good division. You got Baltimore. You got the Steelers.
Steelers are on their step back. I think Baltimore didn't get any better. We've gotten better. I don't think Baltimore got any better, no. I don't think they got any better.
Okay.
Their big signing was Sammy Watkins. They didn't get any better.
They don't. No receiver wants to go to Baltimore.
No, for a reason.
Right. So we'll see.
No, they didn't get better. But now, their quarterback is still a dynamic playmaker, and they are going to win games, and they're going to be right in the thick of things to make the playoffs and to win the division. So I think the Steelers end up in the 3rd slot. I think this is the wheels fall off season, and the Browns are playing a 3rd-place schedule when they won 11 games last year.
You guys have to prove it and win in the playoffs and go deep in the playoffs.
We did win in the playoffs. We beat our division rival.
One game.
We scored 42 points.
Okay, congratulations. So, speaking of your division, James Conner now is in the NFC West.
Yeah, he's in with the Arizona Cardinals. Everybody here in the desert will learn disappointment.
You think so?
Absolutely. And listen, his story, incredible, coming out of playing at Pitt and then playing for the Steelers and all of that. Amazing. The things that he had to go through with cancer and everything, like awesome.
And he had a great season. What was that for his rookie year? Like, but since then?
But I think in the NFL, he's a freak athlete, but in the NFL, they're all freak athletes. I think he's a middle of the pack running back. Now, maybe that's going to fit the scheme that they're going to run here.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a stooge. I don't know. But in my opinion of watching him in Pittsburgh for 4 years, they did not get an upgrade over Kenyon Drake.
No, I agree with that. We'll see. So speaking of freak athlete, Sammy Reyes, Washington signed him. Have you heard about this guy? So he he work out at Florida.
Okay.
So he's part of the international team. This dude's like 6'5", 260, ran a 2.440, or excuse me, a 4.40, excuse me, I can't speak tonight, and had a 41-inch vertical. Have you seen this guy? He looks like Terminator. He's never played football before. He played Division I basketball.
Okay. Well, those guys transition well.
But those guys have good hands. And
those guys transition at tight end.
I'm really curious. He had a good pro day. It's going to be interesting. So I thought it was interesting.
He'll be a 6th-round pick.
No, he's already got picked up by Washington. But with the international players,
they can just sign him?
Yep. They wanted to do it because if they don't do it at a certain time, they have to go into whatever.
Supplemental draft or
something like that. The other big news is we had Julian Edelman retiring.
Yeah, Jules retired, 12 seasons. Fearless player. Hurt. A giant among men, even though we're about the same height.
He won 3 Super Bowls and was 1 or 2 Super Bowl MVPs?
1. Made so many incredible catches at the most opportune times. Historic plays
he had in the last Super Bowl. That was ridiculous. That was crazy with the red
gloves.
He's
a freak.
It's awesome.
Shout out Kent State.
He does not have, if you look at his stats, hold off on this whole Hall of Fame. He ain't making it to the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
No way.
So I agree with you to a point. He's not getting it, and it makes sense to me that at some point, he will probably be in the Hall of Fame, but that's probably 30 years from now. The reason I say that is it's okay. Can you tell the story of the NFL without Julian Edelman? Because of the Super Bowls, because of the impact in the playoffs. I'm not saying he's a first ballot, and I know it doesn't matter when you get in, but it's one of those guys that there's 15 receivers that are going to go in before he gets a sniff.
Right, for sure. I mean, you have to think about it.
He was in a very okay. So he's very good. Is he great enough to be in the Hall of Fame? No, but was Joe Namath great enough to be in the Hall of Fame? Like, there's guys in there because they're a part of the story of the game that helps tell the story and push it forward.
I agree with that.
Maybe Julian is one of those guys.
But the stats don't show it. But
is it a stat Hall of Fame? Is it all about stats?
No.
Because they say it's all about championships. Well, he's got 3.
No, correct. I get it. I mean, you have to think about it.
And I'm not pining for him either way. I'm just playing it.
We went from Wes Welker to Amendola, and then thinking like we're never going to replace Wes Welker, and then Julian Edelman comes in and shows everybody up. He went from being a college quarterback
Kent
to
State.
changing over, and the dude was always ripped and was never afraid of anybody.
No. Freak.
Which also made him hurt all the time, and part of the reason why his stats aren't as high. At the same point, amazing career.
He had a couple of years where he had over 100 balls. Caught a couple of 1,000-yard seasons.
A couple of years, right. But I think he ended with just over 6,000 yards.
Yeah.
So that's...
Well, because the first 6 seasons he didn't, or first, 5, 6 seasons he didn't play. I know. Is what it is.
Not a Hall of Fame career. I don't think so.
I'm good with that.
So before we get into two things before we get into it, the big NFL news we want to talk about. One is that Justin Fields is now getting a lot of traction after his pro day, and now through sources that we're looking at him more than Mac Jones as far as 49ers quarterback and number 3 pick.
I believe it's been that way all along.
And you with your little smoke screens you were talking about. And
100%.
The negative. Okay. All right. So we don't need to spend too much time because
we
decided we're going to get into more next week with the draft because we don't want to double that. We don't need to go too much and go overboard, right? And plus we'll know more.
Yeah.
The other thing is, did you see the dude that Aaron Donald knocked and this story?
Bro, his eye was swelled shut like he had a seafood allergy. He looked like Hitch.
He looked like he had like an ostrich egg inside of his eye.
It was nasty.
And then it looked like he was also on a swing.
Yeah, he was in a sling. He had his arm broken.
Yeah. So the story is that they were arguing inside of a bar. I guess the dude accidentally bumped into Aaron Donald or vice versa.
Right.
The bouncers knocked both of them out, saying, "Get outside." You know how scared you would be. You're like, oh, now we're in the street with nobody.
And that's
what happened. And so we'll see what's going to happen to him. But you, in the words of Friday,
you got knocked
out.
I mean, it did look pretty nasty. I mean, but hey, I've heard Southside Pittsburgh don't play.
Hey, would you take that punch for that payday though?
We don't know if this is going to be payday.
Let's just say it is.
No.
That's like the old school, like
hamburger meat.
Mike Tyson.
No.
Would you take the punch for $1 million?
Well, he's not going to clear $1 million.
Correct.
$1 million.
No, but $1 million.
I'm taking a broken orbital bone, 100%.
Well, okay.
For $1 million.
Yeah.
And we're talking my bills paid and a new truck. No, I'm cool with driving whatever I'm driving and having my face look this good.
For life.
Have my face look this good.
All right. Got you. Okay, so let's get into the crazy big news, especially with this show where we started from. It's all about betting. The NFL has signed a deal to allow betting that's going to be worth over $1 billion with Caesars Entertainment, DraftKings, and FanDuel.
Yep. So now they are all three the official partners of the NFL.
And so they can market through the NFL and also put everything up on NFL.com.
Yep. And their mobile site. They're going to allow a few other things. There's going to be some tie-ins for the states that don't allow gambling, for free games, for the states that allow gambling, some boosters. They're going to be able to change some odds and stuff, do some super boost with the NFL because they are specific partners, things of that nature.
This is going to blow up. This is going to be amazing. I love that they're doing this. This is where money is going to happen. We're already seeing the NBA doing it.
Yep.
It's just going to expand.
But it only matters if your state has it.
Which,
as of 3 hours ago,
Arizona
Governor Doug Ducey signed into law that online mobile sports betting is legalized. Now,
this is dangerous.
The details on this
this is going to be
are interesting.
Yeah.
They signed it with the heads of all the tribal nations.
Right. So it's like 50-50,
So 10, there'll be 20 total licensures for online.
Right.
10 are going to Native American casinos.
Right.
This is going to allow them to open up 2 more casinos in the Phoenix area. Okay.
2 more.
2 more casinos. Hold on. 2 more casinos. These casinos are going to have sports books in them. The existing casinos are going to have sports books in them. The existing casinos can offer online sports betting, which they will probably be partnered with a sports book out of Vegas.
Okay.
Like the Auction Harrah's Casino, they'll probably use Harrah's Sportsbook. Caesars Entertainment will probably partner with some of these. BetMGM Grand is legal in sports betting in New Mexico, and they partnered with the Navajo Nation. Well, that Navajo Nation is so large, it spills into Arizona. So it would make logical sense that they would partner with them, so BetMGM would run their stuff. It's going to allow Keno and a few other things in the state. It's going to allow craps. Presence. It's going to allow live craps now in Arizona.
I'm telling you, this is going to be crazy. And this is.
And then you're going to have the online FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM Grand, probably Boveda, probably Penn, and a few others. There's not 10 out there. Oh, the biggest thing in the stadium. The Suns already partnered with FanDuel, so obviously this was in the works.
I was going to ask you that.
And they're building a luxury sports book at the stadium downtown Phoenix.
So inside of it,
there's going to be a big sportsbooks lounge.
Like the old school days that you could go to the bar and then you could do your horse bet.
Yeah, but you're going to have sportsbook kiosks there, and for everything, but it'll be there. They already said that Scottsdale.
So I'm surprised that it's not the
TPC Scottsdale is going to have a book there.
Yeah, for sure.
A permanent book.
Yeah,
because NASCAR and golf is a part of the group that are going to have this agreement. It's a 20-year deal.
Man,
it's going to be very impressive. The amount of money they're going to be able to pick up unbelievable. So kudos to the state of Arizona for finally pushing this through. It'll be done before the NFL season. We will be betting with one of them, maybe more of them. None of them will sponsor us, but we're going to use one of them for sure.
And we might be doing some of it live.
Bingo. Hey.
We'll see.
Those are called reading the scores.
Man, it's going to be crazy. This is going to be such a different season, especially with all this coming up and the money that is going to flow. It's incredible. So, okay, we got some other stuff to get into.
Yes, sir.
Today in baseball.
Yep.
You know what today is?
Jackie Robinson Day.
Yes.
Everybody wearing 42.
Everybody, even including the umps.
Yeah, everybody. No names.
Yep.
Just numbers.
Much respect. I heard that, so I didn't, I guess, realize this, or I don't remember it. His rookie season was when he was 28. He was a 4-star athlete at UCLA. He was a great running back. He's done his thing, and then it took him to 28 to even get it into the NFL.
Never get to this.
MLB. And then it was still 2 or 3 years before, there was only a handful of black players.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Wild what ignorance does.
But, hey, Jackie Robinson, yes, number 42, Jackie Robinson Day.
Yep.
Take it. My only other baseball news, did you hear about, so in the minor leagues, they got it approved. It's only in one division.
Mickey Mouse division?
Stop it. They're moving so we talked about them moving the pitcher's mound back a foot.
Right.
So they moved it. They're gonna try and test it out. They're gonna be the beta test. So it's 61.5 inches, 61 feet, 5 inches, and see what it does as far as the difference in hitting.
And what do you think it's going to do? Think it changes? I mean, it'll change a little bit, yeah, for sure, but
I think it'll be the start of something that they're going to need more info, and that if they see something that they like, they'll expand it, but it's not going to be in the MLB for a while. I think so, but who knows? There's certain things where it's like, okay, this is going to make us money. They'll make, those decisions real quick. Real quick. All right. You got anything in baseball?
No.
Got anything for golf?
No.
Besides that they're opening.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's get into
We covered golf.
Let's get into some NBA. So, man, LaMarcus Aldridge retired today.
Sure.
Had to.
Yep.
Regular heartbeat.
Yep. Chris Bosh light.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just
without the chips.
He just signed with Brooklyn, and it looked good, but you got to do health stuff. You get those rough decisions.
He's got all the money. Be around your family. Yeah. Give back. Enjoy life.
Yeah, enjoy it for sure. You had a decent career. There was a lot of good highlights. You were an amazing player. Sucks you're going out early. The other thing that I think is interesting is MJ, or they announced that MJ is going to introduce and talk for Kobe.
Yep.
At the Hall of Fame on May 15th.
Yeah.
I believe.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing. I think that's mad respect.
A lot of people are going to be crying.
Oh.
Everybody.
Dude, that's going to be nuts.
Everybody.
I love
Michael will just look like he's crying because his eyes are yellow all the time.
Yeah, very true. If you saw him in that documentary.
Man.
That was for sure. But I love that. I think that's really cool. Now, a lot has been talked this week in the NBA, and I'm not sure if you've heard this with all your NBA watch.
Oh, I got some information.
Okay. So they're talking about players resting, and now it's going to come down to with these playoff games or play-in games.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 7, 8, 9, and 10, and whoever wins the 2 games ultimately gets that spot. So literally, you just got to get to that 6th spot. Like Luka Doncic was going off this week about he hates that.
Yep.
All they're doing is that's ridiculous. They're trying to make that 6th seed because if they lose 2 games or somebody's injured where they could sit.
So I am definitely getting in my old man moment here.
Okay.
So load management's a bunch of trash. Okay?
But
they're already playing. No.
You don't think
I
this
don't care.
season's different?
They are elite athletes. Okay, back-to-backs, sure.
I don't care what you have to say.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get loud here because the Nets, this is garbage. You had the biggest game for the rest of the season against the 76ers. They have 20 games left.
It's a Wednesday night game in April. Give me
They're playing. This is going to, you're going to see them in the playoffs more than likely.
Yes.
They rest all of their starters, essentially.
Why is that a problem, though? Why does that?
So you're cool with load management. You're cool with these guys just saying, you know what? Here's the thing. They're holding the NBA hostage, and here's how. They really want it to be. It's all about the championship, right? Regular season doesn't matter. We're going to make sure it's shorter and shorter. Right. It's also about the journey. These guys that won these NBA championships that are immortalized from forever back all the way through Kobe and Shaq, they didn't miss games. They didn't want to miss games. It was all about being the best, and everybody had that attitude. Now everybody's in everybody's effing TikTok videos. Everybody's out there dancing, dapping up. This is a part of the reason why I don't watch the NBA is because of trash like this.
82 games. Like it's a long season, and this season is impacted by where they're playing almost 4 games a week. Like that's crazy. I get with where you're saying from where we've come from. This season, I'm not complaining about load management. That's all I have to say.
Oh, you think it's going to go away if the season goes back to normal?
Correct.
No,
it's not. No, it's not going to go away. Everybody's still going to do it, but I'm saying this year especially, I'm not going to complain about it.
And here's the other thing too, especially with the Nets. They expect to win the championship. Dude, they may not make it out of the East. And bro, they've got – tell me about give me the chemistry on that team. Give me the chemistry on that team.
So far, so good.
No, not so far, so good.
Come on.
Get out of here.
No, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong, and
no.
I'll prove it.
Maybe.
I'm going to go out to Brooklyn and just...
Yeah.
No,
garbage. They're not...
We'll see. This is going to be... We still got a lot of time. I'm telling you.
20 games left till the playoffs start.
I'm telling you.
Everything's about the chip, but, you know, part of getting the chip isn't a tournament in a bubble.
Okay.
It's the whole season is part of that.
No, it's not. It gets you there, but that's not.
That's like saying forget college basketball, just start the tournament.
That's what you've been talking about. You don't even watch any college.
No, that doesn't matter. But I'm saying is that's what they want. That's what players want. It's like we don't want to do that. Let's just get to the
I appreciate the NBA season. They're doing it the smart way. You can't say that it's not stupid. The San Antonio Spurs didn't make 18 playoffs in a row by not resting players. They started this whole thing. LeBron James doesn't make many NBA finals by not resting.
The years that they won, the year that he won in Cleveland, he played every damn game.
Okay.
So no.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to start that with guys that were in their 15th year in the league, and they had to do that with him. Tony Parker, Ginobili's bald spot grew so large over the years there, they had to rest his bald spot.
You know
they had to rest Timmy Duncan.
Stop
it. They had to.
Wait.
Kevin Durant is like in what, year 11? Kyrie Irving is off gallivanting in the woods somewhere.
Flat Earth.
Hey,
but okay. So when LeBron did that, it's because his coach wasn't in charge. He chose to do that.
I understand that.
So it's what I'm telling you.
Got back to the players are choosing that they want to play less. They want to make the same amount of money or more. They want to play less, and they want to hurry up and get to the finals.
Yep.
Come on, dog. Our attention span as a society has increasingly gotten smaller, which we know, but now the NBA is like the perfect example of the ADD society that we're rolling into with this. Let's hurry up and just get to the playoffs. Let's not. I understand you want to split the back-to-backs. Fine. That's fine. You should. We have the ability to now. But they also pamper them pretty dang well in regards to all of that, and they just keep wanting more and more and more. They're making their way. They're taking over. I get it. Billionaires are always going to win. And these players making these decisions, you're going to have 3 good teams. You're going to have a bunch of defunct, empty stadiums.
So let me ask you this, because this is kind of a correlation. So we were just talking about Julian Edelman and his career, but you're saying he has 3 championships. Well, because these players are resting, they might be winning more championships because they're rested, and then at the end of their career, you're going to say that they're not Hall of Famers?
But we're saying I wouldn't say Kevin Durant's a Hall of Famer if he retired today. He's not a question.
They have 3.
Andre Iguodala is not a Hall of Famer. That's
Harden, Kyrie, and Durant are probably 3 of the top 10 scorers in the league right now.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And if not, maybe 1 or 2 of them all time.
Okay.
I'd put KD in there. I think Kyrie can get to the rim on anybody.
Yeah.
So I like
Kyrie's the best at getting the basket I've ever seen.
Can travel, step, jump back, and score on anybody.
Yeah. If we're going by, he plays street ball rules.
So, yeah. And then, have you seen my boy Steph Curry lately?
He's been on fire.
He went, he had 10 3-pointers.
And then 11 the next night.
And then 11 the next night. Sat the third quarter. He tried to sneak his way into the game, and Kerr had to sit his butt down because he wanted to break Clay's record of 14 in a
Yeah. And he was like, no, I'm not going to let you do that, Tom.
He's like, man, I could have done it. I still have a whole nother quarter. But if you watch, the Warriors aren't we're losing people again. It's
James Wiseman out for the year.
Yeah. But if you watch Curry, he just plays with these. It's so hilarious. And then he just steps back through.
Yep.
But he doesn't travel. So
reminded me of my days back at the Y.
Oh my gosh. 1 for 15, but
never. That one counted though, baby.
Yeah.
First off, never 1 for 15.
It's okay.
First off, never 1 for 15. Stop it. Anyways,
no, I would say you would probably go like 40%. You were decent. I'll give you the shot.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. All right. So I think that wraps up sports.
Yeah, it does.
But you were bringing up a story that you wanted to talk about.
So we always tell office stories from our previous life.
And we've gone away from it.
Yeah, last couple weeks.
We try to mix it up to do a couple of things, but I'm curious.
So we were we got moved around buildings a lot in this industry, and we got moved to a building. We were on the 3rd floor, and it was real open. So it was all cubicles, half cubicles with these wide walk lanes, and that you could enter from several sides.
Right.
So we had a kid. He was a kid at the time. He's not a kid anymore. He's got kids of his own.
Talking about Dayton?
Yeah. Hilarious individual. Probably made me laugh more than anybody at our job.
For sure.
And he was genuinely just trying to make people laugh.
Good guy.
Fit in. Good guy. But so he's sitting in his...
Goofball
he's sitting
that would do the craziest things you would ever... Yes. Anyways.
He's sitting in his desk, in his chair. And one of the guys that we worked with, cool-ass guy, was in a wheelchair. Not from birth, but from an accident.
Oh, my gosh, this story. Okay.
From an accident. So it wasn't a birth defect. This was he, in his own words, made a mistake, wrecked his vehicle.
Yeah, it was a
Here he is.
accident, but
okay.
Still, and he was a decently built. And
Yeah.
He was probably our age.
He was older than that. Oh, yeah. He's probably our age now. So he's probably around 40 then.
Yeah.
So he comes rolling in, and he sees Dayton. And he says, "What's up, Dayton?" And Dayton rolls his chair out next to him and says, "Want to race?"
And this is how people respected Dayton, because it was like it wasn't like a.
He wasn't meaning it to be mean, but this is a huge corporate setting.
Yeah,
like huge HR.
We probably had 200 people on that floor, and
we had 12,000 employees total. I mean, on that floor, 200 people,
and then we're all on the phone. I mean,
this is 6:30 in the morning. This is early.
So it's still early, but there's still probably maybe 20, 25 people.
This stretch is, I don't know.
40 yards?
At least.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, sure, of course. So Dayton spins around backwards and is looking at him. And he's mean mugging him.
Just walked in. Like I caught this as it started.
And we're like, ready, set, go. And they take off. This dude is rolling fast, and Dayton's pushing backwards with his feet, beats him, stands up, and jumps in his face like, "Oh, you just lost, sucker." Like, jumped up. And what was so cool is, dude, he was like, "Really? You had to jump up and dance in front of me? I mean, come on." And Dayton's face got like, he's like, "I'm just messing with you." Yeah. And he rolled back to it, and he went on with his day. That dude cracked me up. That instance, though, to think about it now, that's a fireable offense.
Oh, 100%. And he's using his legs. That's the worst part, is it wasn't even like it's like specifically like, dude, you're going up against a guy in a wheelchair and all you're using is your legs. You're not doing anything.
It was a scene out of Workaholics.
It really was.
It really was.
It was so funny. And
so
there's so many stories. And Dayton, much respect to you and yours.
So funny.
That was a hilarious. Oh my God.
But I was thinking about that. I saw, I don't know what reminded me of that, but something did. And that was going to be the story this week.
There's so many. We don't want. We had a lot to cover, so we don't want to get into too much extra stories. But hey, check us out. We're on the Instagram, got the Spotify, YouTube. Search James Out West. iTunes. Go to jamesoutwest.com. There is a merch link on there now. The pictures are horrible.
I'm getting it worked out. We are not technologically savvy people. I'm actually reaching out to people right now to help me with this. So this looks like more of a professional operation because the studio looks a lot better than what we got going on here. So
it's true. He actually literally just got off the phone as we.
Yeah, we're trying to figure this out. So at any rate,
it's happening. But check us out. Show us. Give us comments. Let us know what's going on. We want to be more involved. We're going to keep trying to grow this thing. But yeah, for sure. Much respect for all the people who are actually watching and giving us that love back. So,
and then next week, draft information.
Yes, draft. We're going to get deeper into some NBA stuff.
Yeah, probably.
This might be the first week that we didn't talk about Deshaun Watson.
I was going to bring that up earlier, but I just let it go because I didn't want to jinx it. But yeah, there was nothing.
No. Now the names are going to come out.
Oh boy!
So we did talk about Deshaun Watson
for the 6th week in a row.
So all the gals are their names are gonna come out supposedly this week. And so we're gonna get. I think next week we'll talk about Deshaun Watson.
Probably.
Okay.
All right, dude.
All right. Hey,
next week
for sure. One love.